What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Cheston Podcast. How's everyone doing? All right, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Just go ahead and get into it. We're on the week of we're doing the week of Christmas, so might as well just wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year because we will be taking a hiatus, a little break, December 26th to January 8th. So 2 weeks. I will be, getting ready for the first official episode of 2023, which will be on January 10th. So that will be the first. It's going to continue every week. Tuesdays is when the premiere episodes will be coming. We're going to keep doing that, all throughout 2023. So we're just continuing on. So the first official episode will be on January 10th. So let me just go ahead and get it out the way. Not happy. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. All right. I'm ready for 2023. I hope everybody else is ready for 2023. I feel like this is going to be a great year for a lot of people, speaking it into existence. I want, praying on it, manifesting it. So it's like, I know, not even I have a feeling. It's just, I know 2023 is going to be a great year for me. So let's just go ahead and get into these topics. I'm ready to get into it. I know you guys are. So we the topics for the week of December 19th to December 25th. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas in advance. All right. So SZA's album SOS, it debuts at number 1 on the Billboard 200 album chart. Congratulations, SZA. That's awesome. I know for her that's like huge. She moved 318,000 units. 7,500 of that was pure sales, like people who actually purchased the album. The rest of that was streaming. As we all know, we're in the age of streaming where when they say units, that's not total album sales. That's like combined everything that for that project. So like I just said, 7,500 of that was pure album sales, people that actually purchased and bought the album. Not taking that from, SZA, that, having a number 1 album is huge. It's awesome. I know every artist that gets it is like happy, it's probably, you feel like you're on the top of the world because it's like, it just shows that your people are listening to your project out of all the other projects that were released recently. So, I know she feels good, and like I said before, this is her first number 1 album. So I know she's over the moon. I know she's celebrating. I know she already released that she's going on a tour. She's doing a tour in 2023. And from what I saw somewhere that it's sold out. I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm sure it did. I'm not downplaying her fan base. Obviously, SZA has a fan base because the album went number 1. So obviously people are into SZA. So continuing on, she scores the biggest streaming week for an R&B album in the U.S. with 404.58 million streams. So meaning over 400 people were streaming that album in the U.S. when that album was released. Okay. Me personally, I have not listened to the album yet. I have not gotten to the time. I think because it's just the rush of the holidays and everything going on in between. I really haven't had time to even listen to music between, working and podcasting and getting ready for Christmas and all types of other stuff going on in my life. I haven't had the time to actually sit down and listen to the CD like I, did with her first CD. Her first CD, Control, was like one of my favorite albums that came out at that time. I think that was 2018, 4 years ago, going on 5 years ago. I want to say it was 2018. That's what I'm going to say. So 2018. And that was a great album. I am going to get around to listening to it because I do love SZA, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I am going to listen to it, so don't worry, I'm going to get into it. But moving on, all 21 songs from the album charted on the Billboard Hot 100. 2 of the songs out of the 21 songs made it into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. Number 10 is Nobody Gets Me, and number 3 is Kill Bill. But once again, congratulations, SZA. You're doing it, girl. I'm so proud of you. I know that she's been, perfecting her craft and working on, her songwriting, everything. Like she's been perfecting everything. And it's like everything she's been manifesting and working so hard for, it's coming into fruition for her and it's paying off. So congrats to you. Congrats on the #1 album. You go, SZA. All right, moving on. Perez Hilton is banned from TikTok after sharing a video claiming he was told something quote unquote bad is going on with Britney Spears that he feels uncomfortable to share. All right, so I saw this little video. I guess I saw the video that where he's talking about he's hearing from, Britney doesn't have a really any real guidance, surrounding her, any real support. He's claiming that she is getting overcharged by her lawyer, Matthew Rosengard. It's basically saying that he's taking advantage of the situation. He's taking advantage of her. Okay, what I want people to understand is that the Britney Spears, the lucky Britney Spears, the baby one more time Britney Spears, the slave for you Britney Spears, any of them old Britney Spearses you guys are thinking of, because I know that, Britney Spears, that's the Britney Spears you guys are thinking of. Even me, when you think of Britney Spears, you're thinking of Britney Spears in the the prime of when she was hot, when she was like 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, ruling the world. Okay, what I need people to understand is that's not who Britney Spears is anymore. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of fans. You guys still think that she's being controlled. You guys don't think she's really free. You guys are just bugging her. It's because you guys want to see her. Let's just cut the bullshit. It's because you guys want to see her. You guys want to see her paraded around. You guys want to see her dressed up and glammed up. You guys want to see her perform. It's not happening. You guys, nobody's taking into consideration in that this woman lost 13 years of her life. Like that she's never getting back. As a you guys don't even know as a Sagittarius how we feel about time, and especially time that was wasted. Like I know for a fact, like when she says that she wakes up in the morning and she cries, I believe her. Because that's 13 years of her life that she's not going to be able to get back. You know what I'm saying? She went into this conservatorship at freaking 27. Did not get released from it until she was about to turn 40. 39. Like, that is crazy to me. And I just, it's like everybody was with the Free Britney movement. And it was like, let's get Britney out of everybody came together for that because, I think we all believed, I want to believe everybody believed Britney Spears in her situation. But what I'm finding disappointing is that you guys want her, now that she's free from her conservatorship, it's like you guys want her to, make music. You guys want to see her again. You guys want her to be all glammed up and dressed up. First of all, you guys got to understand another thing. You guys, I won't even say first of all because I already did my first of all. Another thing you guys got to understand is that she don't trust people. If your own family turned on you, your own mom and dad, brother and sisters, like your whole, immediate support. Because for me, that's my support unit. Like the immediate family is who I turn to. I'm just speaking for me. So I can imagine, for Britney Spears, for that, her immediate family, her brother, sister, mom, and dad, like for that to be the unit that's supposed to build you up and support you and help you and supposed to be the people you run to when you're going through things. But they exploited all that. And they basically, they did not care. They saw Britney Spears making all these millions and basically wanted to take control of her so they can spend her millions. Let's talk about it. Let's be real with it. They were mad that the cash cow wasn't spending the cash how they wanted it to be spent. So what they did was took control of her so they can get control of all that. But not realizing that they ruined this woman's life. This icon, this legendary pop star, they like ruined her. And not saying that she can't, get back to who she was. I'm sure it's going to take years. It's going to take time to undo 13 years of no freedom, no control, constant monitoring, constant, being placed into mental health facilities against her will. So it's like, I just feel like, you guys got to give Britney Spears time. You guys got to let her live her freaking life. You guys don't have to know everything that's going on. All we need to know, I mean, and people criticize her because they don't like that she's posting, all the dang time, practically nude. I get that, but you guys have to remember, when you think of Britney Spears, what you have to think about now and keep in the first part before you even like want to give your opinion on her is that this girl was stuck in a situation for 13 years that she had no control over. She lost 13 years of her life. That's why she's not up to date on the fashions. That's why she's not up to date on, makeup and hair extensions. Like, you guys are like beating a dead horse, basically. Like, you guys have to understand that this girl does not trust people. Only person she trusts, probably only two people she trusts, is her husband and Matthew Rosengart, who, by the way, I disagree. I think he's heaven sent. First of all, that's Madonna's former attorney. I don't know if he still does anything attorney work for her, but he was referred to Britney through Madonna. So I know that this man, obviously, if Madonna used him, and Madonna's a boss bitch, like she's on top of her business, okay, and that's on everything. You never hear anything about Madonna having money issues or Madonna not paying her stuff. You know what I'm saying? She crosses her T's and dots her I's. So, for Madonna to refer this man to help Britney get out of her situation, that's all I need to know. That's all. Like, that right there was the thumbs up. For Madonna to okay it and pass him, over to Britney Spears and be like, let him help her like he helped me. I'm not worried about Matthew Rosengart. If anything, I want to tell that man, thank you. Thank you for saving Britney. Thank you for helping her. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure he's not cheap. I'm sure to have him, to retain him, it's going to cost some money. But for Britney Spears, I know that the freedom that she has now is priceless, and I know that she's over the moon. And as far as Perez Hilton, this is not Paris Hilton. This is Perez Hilton, the Cuban guy from Miami that became like the worst thing. He made pop culture, paparazzi tabloid, he made it like so wrong and dirty. Like, he made it worse than what it already was. I just feel like he should just leave Britney Spears alone. He wasn't helping then. He's not helping now. He's never been a help. So I just feel like he should just leave her alone. Just not even, if you really are worried about her, then pray for her. Hope the best for her. But in my opinion, Britney Spears is not hurting nobody. She's not doing anything wrong. She's posting pictures that she wants to post because she's no longer under anybody's control. If you guys don't get that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you don't like the pictures, you don't have to follow her page. You can block her. That's an option, right? You can mute her. That's an option, right? I'm just saying, like, you don't have to engage with her. I mean, if you don't like what she's posting, you don't have to follow her. You don't have to even look at it. You can just be like, oh, I don't want to see that. I don't get what's the big point. It's because, what people are not admitting is that they want the old Britney. They want, 2002 Britney Spears. They want 2001, 2000 Britney Spears, again. And it's like, that's not going to happen. That's not who she is. That's not who this Britney Spears is. I do believe in the future. I think we need to give her some years. And when I say years, I don't know. Years, that's all I'm going to say. I don't know how many, but we need to give this woman years to just live and, try to get her to Britney Spears will never feel normal. Okay. She knows that. She's aware of that. She knows that her life is not normal. She knows that her life, she's been a child star. She knows that, her situation is not normal. So she's aware, but I'm just saying that we just got to give her time. Just got to give her time to get back into her independence, get back into, loving herself, being in her skin, making her own decisions. We just got to give her time. 13 years of losing your life is a long time. So we got to give her a chance to really be free. and not monitor her and pick her apart. And like, I've been seeing these AI, these avatars, these AI images that you guys, people are creating of her. And I'm like, that's really not helping either, because those images could scare her, because it's going to make her think like, well, this is what people want me to look like. This is what people, they don't like the way I look. This is what they want. Like, I don't know. It's not helping. That's all I'm saying. It's not helping anybody. Just leave Britney alone. Let her live. I get it. We have America has this weird obsession with her, and I get it. But leave her alone. Let that girl, get back to her life, or try to make the best of, try to get, make lemonade out of the lemon she was dealt with, she was given for 13 years. Let that girl live with her husband, and try to figure out the rest in private, on her own, with Matthew Rosengart. Because I feel like if we did not have him, she wouldn't have been free. So no one can talk bad about that man. He was the only attorney that was bold enough to take on the case. There was a lot of inside crookedness. People were just making money off of Britney Spears for 13 years. A lot of attorneys were passing her file around, just making money off of her. You know what I'm saying? So we finally had one that stepped up and was like, we're going to get your voice heard. I'm going to get you out of this situation. I believe in you. That's what she needed. So, I mean, just leave her alone. That's just all. That's my only advice. If you don't like what she's posting, unfollow her, block her. But she doesn't need, and I'm glad she turned off her comments. Go Britney. That's all that matters, girl. Do you, do what's best for you. Moving on. The Rock unfollows Black Adam and Warner Brothers Instagram accounts. Yes, he thought nobody was going to notice this, but we did. I didn't even notice this. I saw this and I was like, well, why are you guys paying attention to this? But I mean, if you think about it, it comes off of, it comes after Henry Cavill, basically getting axed for the role of Superman, what we all knew him for, which made no sense, because if anybody saw the Black Adam movie, at the end of the movie, how Marvel does, they tried to, have like a continuation of the story. So basically, spoiler alert, if nobody's seen Black Adam, Superman, Henry Cavill, he pops up in the Superman suit at the end of the movie. So we're like, it leaves you like a build up. It leaves you like wanting more, like, oh my God. So is it going to be Black Adam versus Superman? Well, now that we got two new heads over DC Studios, can't think of the last name is Gunn and Saffron. I can't think of their first names right now. But Gunn and Saffron, they're the new studio heads at DC Studios, and they basically have a whole new lineup that they're gonna release at the beginning of the year 2023 of all the upcoming projects that are in line for DC Studios to release. But they already made it known that Henry Cavill is not gonna be Superman no longer. They're actually looking for somebody younger, because they're gonna be telling one of the things that one of the studio heads, Gunn, is working on is a script. I mentioned this in I think the last episode. He's working on a script about Superman, so I'm guessing that's probably the next project that's about to come out. And it's Superman in his younger days, so obviously Henry Cavill can't play that, because he's like in his late 30s, going on 40s. So they're going for a fresher, newer, like a revamp, like a refresh, I guess. And so The Rock, continuing on, The Rock, he released a statement on Instagram saying that Black Adam will not be in the first chapter of storytelling for the new DC Universe movies, okay? He goes on to say that there will be continued exploration of the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. So he's hopeful, obviously, that they're going to use Black Adam in something. I wouldn't hold my breath. If they're axing Aquaman, they just axed Wonder Woman 3. They just sat Ben Affleck down and asked him about directing rather than playing Batman. So it sounds like they're going in a whole new different direction with younger actors, probably new faces, fresh faces. That's fair. They always revamp it. They always have a new Batman, a new Superman. So no shocker there. But I feel bad for The Rock because I knew that he really was excited for Black Adam. I know that he was like, championing it, really wanting people to, see it. And he even was excited about, if the success of that Black Adam was so good that they could possibly do like a sequel bringing in Superman versus Black Adam, which would have been dope. I see the whole concept and everything. They're both like, you know, extraterrestrial beings fighting each other. Like it's a dope concept. So I could see it, but due to Black Adam not being the big success that it should have been, it didn't live up to the expectations. The cost of it was like well over $500 million. It didn't even crack that in the worldwide sales yet. I think it's at like 400 right now. I don't know, 400 million. But obviously they felt like they did not get what they put into it in return. So they're axing the Black Adam sequel in the meantime. So yeah, and The Rock obviously got the memo. He sat down with the new DC studio heads, and they basically let him know like everything else. It's going to be a shakeup, new people, new characters, new stories. So we won't be continuing on with Black Adam, which kind of sucks, but it's The Rock. The Rock is doing his thing. He'll find something else. And I mean, do I think they will bring back Black Adam? If The Rock, stays good on good terms with them, you never know. They might have him come back and, do a pop-up or something. So we'll be keeping a lookout for that. Well, I'm going to keep a lookout for that. I'm going to continue to see, if there is a future for Black Adam. But I am excited to see what this new lineup of the DC multiverse chapters are going to be at the beginning of the year, and which is, they said it's going to be in January. So I'm excited to see that. All right, moving on. Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all 3 charges. Yes, it's over. We can finally, it's okay. For me, it's sad because this young man, he's facing up to 23 years and will be sentenced on January 27th of 2023. So he's facing up to 23 years on these 3 charges. And honestly, I followed the whole trial. I followed everything. I literally was so tuned into this trial because I really wanted to know the truth. Do I feel like, me personally, from what I read and what was presented on the stand and what was said in all testimonies, I honestly I feel like there was too much reasonable doubt. Absolutely, there was a lot of reasonable doubt. I feel like there really wasn't any hardcore evidence that pointed Tory to pointing, to firing that gun. It was a lot of testimony and statements that, said that, he shot the gun, he fired the gun. But as far as like the hardcore evidence, nothing really pointed at Tory Lanez. This is what I'm from what I saw, from what I read, and what what was being put out there. And it wasn't just bloggers. I was going to credited sources. I was following, people from Rolling Stone, people from, people that were actually at the trial that were covering it, from bloggers to actual reporters. So, and like I said before, everything they presented was just, I just feel like there was no hardcore evidence that pointed Tory Lanez to be found guilty, in my honest opinion. Now, I'm not trying to, and it's not about being biased or, not liking, Megan Thee Stallion. It has nothing to do with that. I don't have no issue with Megan Thee Stallion. I'm just going off of what was presented, what was said on the stand, how everything went down. Like, I just wanted to see the evidence. I wanted to hear the evidence. I wanted to know, like, for sure, is this what happened? But I didn't get that. There was a lot of reasonable doubt, like I said. But it's so he's facing up to 23 years. So it's I want to see what they're gonna give him, in January. But before he was sentenced, he was found guilty before they gave a plea. Once they announced what was determined. Before that happened, during the week, Megan Thee Stallion's former stylist, EJ King, he testified. I feel like he was the only good witness on the stand, the only one that told his story, told what he had to say, and it didn't feel like it was like any lies or it was made up or he wasn't making any sense. He wasn't like saying one thing and then saying the next, the opposite in the next few minutes. Like there was so much of that. There was so many people that got on the stand that was like saying one thing and then the next minute they would say another thing. Like the one, for example, the one dude that was actually he lived at where the scene was where they got, arrested by the cops, where the cops showed up. And it was, Tory, Kelsey, and Megan outside the truck. And the dude, I guess he lived like right across the street from the scene where that happened. And his testimony was just the craziest to me, but that's what they had to go off of for them to find him guilty, Tory Lanez guilty. But in the beginning of the testimony, the guy basically said he saw Kelsey with the gun and firing the gun. Then, later he switched it and he says he saw Tory with the gun and firing it 5 times and waving his arms and screaming. It was just a lot. It was just a lot of one thing said, then it's the opposite. It's like, okay, so which one is true? Which one is real? There was a lot of that. So it was confusing following this trial, okay? I still feel like, in my opinion, for me, I still feel like I don't know what happened that night. Now, EJ, the former stylist, I know what happened at Kylie's house, baby. That, okay, this is why, okay. And then on top of that, before he was found guilty, NBC News released an article basically bashing bloggers, podcasters, and social media accounts that were following this trial, and basically were in the courtroom taking their own notes. And the article basically was saying that these people, the bloggers, podcasters, and social media accounts, are misleading people. I did not get that. The bloggers were doing just as well as the credited journalists. I was getting the same information from the bloggers and the journalists. Now, the tones were different, of course. I think everybody that was caught up in this trial, I think everybody, they blatantly let you know what side they're on, or if they're team Megan or if they're team Tory, they automatically let you know, or they don't be upfront with it, but you can just tell by the tone of how they're writing the stuff that you could tell who they're in favor for. So I saw a lot of that too. I preferred the people that were upfront, that let you know that this is how I feel, but I'm going to go ahead and accurately, report everything I'm seeing. And the person I give props to for that is Milagro Grams on Twitter. Milagro, she was like, a lot of people want to, talk bad about her, but I feel like she was very thorough. She was very good at reporting. She was very good at, she was there. She was in the courtroom. She was saying the same things, like I said, the credited journalists were saying. So nobody was misleading nobody. Basically, that NBC News article was like a bash, a smear against bloggers, podcasters, including myself, talking about this, and social media accounts. And basically, the article, it was defending Megan Thee Stallion. It was very biased. I did not like that article, and even in the article, one of Megan Thee Stallion's lawyers, he said that Megan is exploring all legal options against bloggers spreading misinformation about her in the trial, which is crazy to me. Everybody was reporting accurate stuff. I really didn't get like, opinion pieces. It was like, this is what happened. This is what was reported. This is how it was in this, the courtroom. It was no different from the credited journalist for Rolling Stone or Page Six. I'm just saying, it was just, it's hilarious. Like, you can kind of tell, first of all, for me, you can kind of tell this trial is bigger than what it is. Like, you take that that's all I'm gonna say. I don't really want to get into it because I'll be here all day if we like with conspiracy theories, but I've really got the sense and the feeling that there are a lot of major players, major people outside of the actual trial that are pulling strings or doing things behind the scenes. I definitely got that. I definitely have that feeling. If he did, in fact, I feel like there wasn't enough proof to prove that, but I'm sure Megan's happy and she feels like she got her justice, if in fact he did shoot her, because I still feel like we did not, I still feel like I don't know what happened that night, honestly, after, you read, if you don't believe me, read the transcripts, go through them. But I tell you, the my favorite testimony was EJ King. He told a lot of good stuff. And you know what? I'm gonna save that because I want to have a guest on here to discuss, to break that down and how they're feeling about it and everything like that. So I'm not gonna discuss that by myself right now. So when we come back from the hiatus, my 2-week hiatus that I'm taking from the 26th to the 8th, okay, I don't know, from January 8th, I don't know how, if you guys can't tell the excitement in my voice. I love taking breaks and hiatuses, but not for too long though. I like to, get back into business. Just take a little breather, but I'm going to go ahead because we're going to break that down. I want to break down everything. I'm actually going to, pull up everything that was said in the trial. I'm not going to make it a whole episode. I don't feel like that it's worth that much, attention, but definitely going to bring it up when we come back from our break and just so it won't be just one opinion on here, so I can have somebody else to, go back and forth with, pick somebody else's brain on how they see the situation. And because I see it how it is, baby. It's for me, it's black and white. I feel like there was not enough evidence in this trial. There was not enough hardcore evidence that pointed at Mr. Lanez. And I'm just being real. I'm just being fair. It's not about, it's not about disliking anybody or wanting to take anybody's side. It's just, what is the proof? What is the hardcore evidence that shows that Mr. Lanez did what he did? He fired showing that he fired the gun. I did not get that. I'm just being honest with you. But anyways, we'll talk more about that once I come back from my hiatus, my break, winter break for Christmas and New Year's. But I'll go back into that and I'll have a guest on and we can go back into, breaking it down and what was said on the stand, and who was a good witness, the witnesses and all that, testimonies and all that. We'll go through the transcripts. So I'll continue to talk on this on the first episode in the new year, okay? Just to be fair. And it'll be right before he gets sentenced, so people are still going to be buzzing about it. But that was all the topics for this week. Make sure you subscribe, share, and like on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and YouTube. Make sure to follow the Cheston Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Now, we're taking a hiatus. I'm going to say it again. So don't be expecting no episodes between December 26th and January 8th. We'll be taking those 2 weeks off. I'll be taking those 2 weeks off. All right. We'll be back. I will be back. Brand new episode on a Tuesday, January 10th, 2023 will be the first episode of the new year of 2023. So I'm excited. I know, I hope to see you guys there. Well, I hope to see you guys there. I hope you guys, listen. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a safe, Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a great 2023. I hope everybody's ready for 2023. I'm ready for 2023. yeah, so like I said before, take care of yourself, take care of each other. All right, you guys. All right, so I will be uploading a new episode January 10th, 2023. Okay. All right. Thank you. Peace.